This portion of the news brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
As the government seeks to complete energy reform throughout the country by the year 2033, instrumental to this, they believe, will be the passing of the Electricity Amendment Bill. This is expected to allow for the installation and generation of power through alternative means. That bill was discussed in Parliament last evening. C.S. Adderley was there.
Net billing and grid tie connection could soon become a reality in the Bahamas if the Electricity Amendment Bill is passed in Parliament. Southern Shore's MP and Environment Minister Kenrick Dorset called the legislation a bold step in the right direction.
This is long overdue, Mr. Speaker, but I'm excited about what this will bring to our country when we pass the bill, and particularly for those Bahamians in the commercial and residential arena who have already installed solar systems, obviously using them to reduce their reliance and consumption of power generated by BEC. They have been waiting for the day for grid tie connection to become legal in the Bahamas, for them to do so responsibly, lawfully, but more importantly, for a net billing program to be established where they would be able to get a credit.
Residents will only be able to use wind turbines or solar voltaic power sources in the program's initial phase. Tall Pines MP and Executive Chairman of the Bahamas Electricity Corporation, Leslie Miller, stressed how the cost of electricity is still too high and how this initiative will benefit residential consumers and small businesses. Otherwise, Miller says BEC won't be able to sustain itself if larger entities such as Atlantis and Bahamar could generate their own power.
I think that what we are doing now is necessary to enable us to have a greener country. It is going to assist BEC from defraying, not right now, but in the future, a lot of financial outlay for putting in new generators. BEC is looking at some new generators now, 128 megawatts, that is likely to cost at least $200 million. When you look at transmission lines that would have to bring that energy from Clifton to uptown, it's going to cost another $60 million to upgrade the transmission lines. By getting Bahamians to go to solar and these other alternative energy sources would enhance and benefit the viability of BEC as a financial entity.
Central and South Eleuthera MP Damian Gomez and Seabreeze MP Hope Strawn also supported the bill, calling it a great day for the Bahamian people. But opposition members Richard Lightbourne and Loretta Butler Turner questioned the government's ability to roll this out efficiently and effectively. Meantime, debate on the bill is expected to continue next week, Wednesday. C.S. Adderley, ZNS Network News.
Well, following an F&M-led protest outside Bank of the Bahamas on Wednesday, Member of Parliament for Mntague Richard Lightbourne accused the government of not properly addressing the issue. He also put forward a number of questions relating to the bailout and the establishment of Resolve Bahamas.
That $100 million suggests a number of really serious concerns for this country. The terms under which these loans were granted. To whom were they granted? What security were they given? Because it appears that there must be totally inadequate security, and that is the problem. And what we need to understand as a nation, we're going to be paying for this in short order, because the government has issued a promissory note to cover the $100 million.
And parliamentarians from the governing side wasting no time firing back. Deputy Prime Minister the Honourable Philip Davis, Minister of State for Finance the Honourable Michael Halkitis, and Prime Minister the Right Honourable Perry Christie all sought to clear up misconceptions surrounding Bank of the Bahamas.
The loans were granted under their watch. Not one of the board members today was on the board then. Those loans were granted when they were in office.
In order to restore the proper capital ratios, this was the best course of action to take. To remove the loans from the books of the bank, give the bank a promissory note of $100 million on which the bank will be paid interest, and have a firm, an accounting firm, a leading accounting firm, solely dedicated through Resolve Bahamas to collecting on the debt.
I want to make it clear to the Bahamian public as the sitting Minister of Finance. The government of the Bahamas is not going to compromise on doing the things it has to do to ensure that the Bank of the Bahamas is secure, is safe, and continues to be a safe investment for its shareholders.
Also from the House, former Parliamentary Secretary in the Ministry of Works and Urban Development, Renward Wells, breaking his silence on the signing of the letter of intent to Stellar Waste Energy. He explained what led to his firing.
The New Providence waste stream must be properly analyzed to determine the component percentage, and thus any landfill management proposal accepted should be used to provide this necessary data. In order to build a waste-to-energy plant, you need felt studies, front-end loading studies. And in this LOI, Mr. Speaker, it says, you read through all of it, these felt studies is what was mentioned and what this was about. Simply doing the felt studies and providing the government of the Bahamas with that information free of charge.
Well, the Haitian Parliament was dissolved yesterday after last-ditch negotiations over a new electoral law failed. President Michel Martelly had been trying to secure backing for a U.S.-sanctioned plan to postpone elections again. However, Haitian opposition groups say they will continue months of street protests to try and force his resignation. Weighing in on this, Foreign Affairs Minister Fred Mitchell says the political uncertainty in the impoverished nation is cause for concern, as this could result in a mass exodus from Haiti and an influx of illegal nationals here.
It appears to me that they have been consumed with trying to get the political situation settled, because essentially they have no legislature, because elections should have been held on the 12th of January. That deadline has passed, and I think he thought he had an agreement with the opposition sides, but I'm gathering from the news and intelligence reports that the idea is now that they're calling for his resignation. So, you know, that puts a whole other picture on it.
The Attorney General says the Swift Justice Initiative is having a positive impact on the administration of justice in this country.
And as Fern Carey tells us tonight, the Attorney General also gave an update on the conviction rate for criminal trials earlier this week.
Despite ongoing challenges in the legal system, including witnesses not showing up for court, scheduling conflicts of defense counsel, and difficulties in selecting juries, Attorney General Alison Maynard Gibson assured that the Swift Justice Initiative is reaping dividends.
Time to present a voluntary bill of indictment from laying of charges has decreased by 460%, from 344 days in 2012 to 78 days as of the 31st of December 2014. The number of cases disposed of by the Supreme Court has increased from 118 in 2012 to 200 in 2014, which is almost double.
The Attorney General also revealed that conviction rate for criminal trials has improved.
Supreme Court trials yielded criminal trials obviously yielded 54% guilty and 46% not guilty verdicts. Trials for murder and murder-related offenses in 2014 resulted in 51% guilty verdicts and 43% not guilty verdicts. No one is charged with a serious offense unless the Office of the Attorney General signs off that there is cogent and admissible evidence likely to lead a reasonable jury to convict, and that everything that can be on the case file prior to charge is on the case file.
Meantime, President of the Bahamas Bar Association, Elsworth Johnson, called for greater gender equality in the appointment of Queen's Counsel.
That the time has come for the reformation of the appointment process for Queen's Counsel, with a view to eliminating what appears to be undue influence by way of secret soundings and improper government or political patronage. Finally, my lord, it is very important that future appointments to the office of Queen's Counsel appear to be gender neutral and recognize the distinguished contributions accomplishments, and intellectual abilities of our female members of the bar.
Attorney General Alison Maynard Gibson is the first woman to be appointed a Queen's Counsel. Frankiri, ZNS Network News.
This portion of the news was brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.